And we are live, ladies and gentlemen, taking it into this first game, or the second game here. Will we see a repeat performance? Like I had mentioned, I have a hard time believing, Chill, that we're going to see a 3-0 out of either player. I think that First is probably has a few tricks up his sleeve. You know, he knows how powerful of a Terran TaeJa is. This isn't the first time they've met at all. And, you know, likely that First is going to be able to pull something out here. But TaeJa gets a lot of momentum taking that game number one. Let's introduce our players in the northeast position. As the red Terran, it is Liquid's TaeJa. And in the southwest position, as the blue Protoss from Team LGIM, it is First.
You know, as we just let this game wind up, I'm always interested to kind of talk about pro gamers' hotkeys, because it's funny that there's kind of you'd like to think there's an objective best hotkey setup and all the pro gamers would use it, but TaeJa puts his command center on 1 and actually puts all his army on 2, his entire army. It's really interesting to me, and actually Creator does the same thing. Puts his Nexus on 1, this was last game, Creator Prime, and puts his army on 2. So very interesting here as we see TaeJa dropping that kind of sneak barracks outside his main base.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, this is something we see TaeJa doing a lot. We see him not do it necessarily for aggression, but as sort of an additional mind game that your opponent has to process. When you come and scout, you know, TaeJa's base. You come in, maybe you don't see that barracks right away.
Right.
You have to think for a second. Is it possible that I might have some Marines running into my base and totally get owned? Or maybe with the gas, some sort of a Marauder proxy, which can be equally scary if pulled off effectively. So it doesn't... Oh, he put a tech lab down. Maybe he's... I mean, he could go Reaper, but... yeah, I'm sure that's what he's going to do, which I like this build as well.
I've seen him open up with Marauders as well to try to punish any sort of fast expansion. Let's see what he does.
I'd be okay with that. I like that build.
Yes, it is going to be a Reaper. And he's got it rallied over to, where is it rallied? Just down his ramp, and looks like it's a Nexus before Cybernetic Square here for First.
Yeah, and this SCV is going to see it just as he comes in. Did get to see that Nexus. No, he didn't spot the Nexus, actually.
Really?
So TaeJa needs to go down.
And now he's doing a little bit of harassment on those mineral lines, trying to block the fastest patches with his SCV. So clearly busy there. The probe's going to sneak in yet again, see the command center is going up at TaeJa's natural, so well aware of that.
Oh. You know what? I mean, TaeJa actually, if he would have seen that Nexus, he could have built a couple more Reapers, I think, and really had a heyday. He is now switching over to Marines and Stim, right. And the SCV still didn't see. Okay, he's sending a Marine over there, but that's like, I can't believe he hasn't checked it. Yeah.
SCV sitting at the bottom of the ramp, just like a few inches to the left, and he would have seen it. Maybe he's aware just based on the build and the delayed second gas. I don't know, but I mean, he's got to assume the Nexus is up. Now he's got his Reaper up in the high ground. Does that Reaper see? Yes, it absolutely does.
Oh yeah, it's seeing the Nexus, and immediately some probes have to be pulled away. But I think a missed opportunity. That's okay. He's going to have his Stim done pretty quick here, and a fair amount of Marines, following up with 2 additional barracks and already getting his +1. So may go for very, very quick timing here and a bust up the front. So those observers, those sentries, going to be very, very important here as the game progresses, as we get to like the 7-8 minute mark, and we have these upgrades finishing up. By then we'll have the additional barracks up, and that will also be pumping out a lot of Marines. So second base up for First. He's going to find himself in a phenomenal economy, but really he's not. He's sitting in a good position. He's got 3 gateways up, his robotics facility is up, his warp gate almost finished. So, you know, while there is a little bit of tech going out here for TaeJa, he's incredibly Marine focused right now.
Yeah, and the game's kind of taken a slow pace here in game number 2. We had a slow start in game number 1, but it definitely heated up after TaeJa started to get his medevacs out, and I expect this game is going to take a similar role. We're probably not going to see First do anything crazy like, you know, slam out 6 gates and try to go all in, as he does double forges, so wants to keep up with TaeJa's mid-game upgrades. Probably a good idea here as he's got his 2 assimilators coming up at his natural, and completes his observer, flying that over into TaeJa's main base to see what's up.
See what's up. How far will it actually make it? That's the big question. There's a watchtower coverage by first here, and we have this Reaper coming back out yet again. Combat shields going down. There's the factory. So with the +1 finishing and stim done, it doesn't have really that many Marines, I think, that he can make a push that I imagine he feels could, put him well ahead in this game. But he is going to move out with these Marines, so we'll see what he's going to be able to do. And, oh, here comes the Observer.
Oh,
they
it
passed
slipped
like 2
by.
ships in the night. Yep. And so it will get by, no problem. But these Marines are now going to take over the watchtower. Is he prepared? We do have a lot of stalkers and a lot of energy on these sentries. So I feel like he could defend it quite easily with perfect force fields, or at least fairly reasonably good force fields, actually. I don't even think he needs perfect. And here, stalkers are moving out.
Trying to dance back and forth, but this, they can't actually get inside to see around these vision blockers, so not able to do that if he just scooted the observer just a little bit. But that's how much respect First is giving TaeJa. Doesn't even want to bring his observer anywhere near that watchtower. Okay, there it goes. Scratch everything I said.
Oh, and he snipes
you fool! You fool!
That was my plan the whole time. I bet you it was too. He's just like, I'm gonna get that observer. It's gonna be awesome.
And in his natural, he's actually got a missile turret that's, I believe, gonna give vision to that observer. Absolutely gonna get vision. So he'll be able to clean that up as soon as a few. Oh, looks like First has realized and moved the observer.
Yeah, he got out of there quickly. Now the medevacs are out. Upgrades are continuing here for TaeJa. He got his armory up, built a second engineering bay to coincide with that, and now has his +2 attack already underway. Now, he's got a couple options here. It looks like he's moving down to the 3rd. And through the rocks, good place to go. But his opponent's going through the rocks right now, which means that up the natural ramp is probably the best position. The nice thing about this is if the medevacs get here on time, then he can just load up and go directly into the main. But it looks like he's going to miss that timing just by a hair.
Yeah, very close. Looks like he's trying to get aggressive, baits out a couple force fields, loses a few Marines for it. No real big deal there. First going to be able to drop his 3rd Nexus here, considerably later than TaeJa's 3rd, and TaeJa actually building his 3rd at the site, not building it in the main base and then floating it away. That's how much map control he has at this point. And here comes the barracks explosion. We've seen TaeJa play kind of 2 different late game styles. One where he just pumps out a bunch of units, and one where he pumps out a bunch of orbital commands, actually. So still an option. We're not too far in the mid game for that option to have passed yet.
So not very many Marauders here in this mix. We're just starting to see the Marauders come out. He's going to load up one of these medevacs, try to possibly sneak into the natural here of First. First has his double forges going. He's about ready to finish up with his extended thermal lance, and so far he hasn't had any misfirings, if you will, with his Colossus. And if he can get that number up, he's going to be in good shape. We have not seen any sort of Viking production begin quite yet, and usually he's going to wait and see that first Colossus before he commits to that, but I felt like he already saw it, so he's just getting a few more medevacs. But here we go, trying to move into the natural, instantly shut down by 3 stalkers, does get out of there and gets away to fight that battle another day. But that 3rd base is looking mighty healthy for TaeJa. Throwing up 2 additional refineries, going to be able to get his Ghost production going. There we see the Ghost Academy falling down. And, well, not really falling down, but actually going down. And he's still doing some harassment over here at the natural, which is occupying his opponent.
Yeah, staying very active. He couldn't drop, so he unloads those Marines, snipes out the pylon. We had a misrally on the starport as we saw a medevac fly almost into the Protoss army. You can see it's rallied right down at kind of the choke point of Protoss. So I'm going to keep an eye on that and hope that these Vikings don't fly to their doom. And just after I make a big deal, he gets re-rallied. So hate you, TaeJa.
Except for that one Viking. He's still going, man.
Oh, man, he caught
it. Oh, there you go. Where are you going? And now a huge doom drop getting set up. And you know what? Look at the placement of that pylon right there.
Beautiful.
Just absolutely perfect. He's going to drop off just one of the medevacs, and then he's going to find the second one that will clearly tell his opponent that he is going to drop with a large amount of bio units. And that's early alarm system. I mean, that's great. Now he can choose to kind of fake it or go for it. But right now, I think First is just going to say, I'll just stay outside my base, keep getting this third up, and possibly see what my options are. But he's looking pretty good army size-wise.
And First has tried several times as he blinks forward, takes out that medevac, and finally cleans up these units. But he sent a probe several times to this banana hallway to put up a few pylons to spot any drops coming. And you can see another pylon is trying to be constructed there, and the Reaper's going to take out the probe. So, you know, really annoying stuff here by TaeJa. Keeping the drop avenues open, so even if he's not dropping right now, he at least wants to keep it in the back of First Mine, and that's exactly what's happening here.
Now, the other big thing that I do like coming out of First is that we are seeing the transition over to Templar. Storm is going to be on its way, so the first time these guys engage, Storm's going to be there. We already have some Templar pooling up some energy, but the Ghosts are just now being created.
Yep.
We have 0 on the field. The first 3 are on their way. So they're going to be a little bit down in energy. I mean, TaeJa's storm dodging is quite remarkable if you've never seen him split an army versus a storm. It's kind of a scary thing to see. But it's going to come down to that superior ghost control that we talked about earlier. Can TaeJa actually, pull this off and win his second game quite easily? He's got his 4th base up, and when I say he's got it up, he's got, over 12 SCVs and mules currently working there. And there is a small group of zealots making its way over to try to disrupt this a bit, but no attempt at a 4th base quite yet for First.
Yeah, he's done some clearing. He's got a probe at the bottom right's 3rd base here. Factory is floating over the 6 o'clock, so TaeJa would be aware of anything that goes down there. TaeJa now moving out, and we've arrived kind of at hyper speed to the late game. As we've got 4 Ghosts on the map, we've got 8 High Templar, and I believe 3-3 for both players is just about wrapping up. Yes, Armor is going to wrap up in 18 seconds for the Protoss player, and TaeJa has +3 attack, +3 armor going to finish in 60 seconds. So they kind of had decided, okay, I'm going to harass a little bit, and now we're at 200, 200, 3-3. Let's see who's better.
Yeah, 200, pretty decent army on both sides, as we do have the +2 weapons for the Vikings going to be finishing up here pretty soon as well. And we have a drop that is identified, and it's going to get taken out. Good job. But this little force from TaeJa is getting closer and closer. Oh, he sees that observer. Nice snipe. Very nice snipe.
Wow.
Coming out by TaeJa, and I know he sees that observer. I know he does.
And look at this, a little strike force is running into the natural, trying to take out some High Templar, and successful in trying to take out some cannons now. So very nice to stim forward. Oh, eats a big storm there. Another storm trying to snipe those High Templar, but they actually get shut down, and now the Colossi are running in, and there's no escape here for TaeJa. He's forced to fight as First wraps around the north front, putting down some force fields and trying to kill all the ground units, and looks like he's going to be very, very successful. TaeJa trying to flank around and clean this up. But after all said and done, that is the big victory that First needed. Is he going to take his army and charge up to the 12 o'clock? Unfortunately, there's a planetary there, but First can do whatever he wants, and he needs to capitalize at this point.
He really does. I mean, ultimately, I think that TaeJa failed on a couple of very crucial EMPs with the 3 Ghosts. They were targeted down very quickly by TaeJa, and now he's in a situation where he's got to fight for his life. Repair going down on that planetary, and he's got to be careful here. Those Colossus now in a somewhat precarious situation. He continues to focus on Zealots as much as he can, but if he gets a nice EMP, it looks like he's just going to pull back and wait to fight another day. So it's not over quite yet. The good thing here for TaeJa is his medevac's really full on energy, so he's going to be able to quickly heal up this army. But this attack is coming out for a second run here by First, this time with a few Archons in the mix. And again, the EMPs are going to rule the roost. A couple of Dark Templar coming out as well. There's the EMP, misses the... Oh my God! That was 3 EMPs wasted there, and I feel like he needed them for this battle.
And it's all systems go. Big storm landing as TaeJa splits up yet again, but comes running back into it. Now the Colossi have joined the fight. Another big storm, taking out so many bio units as the Archons come in to try to tank. The Colossi just raining fire down on the back. And look at the reinforcements coming from the western flank. For first, all Zealots come crashing in around the planetary fortress. TaeJa desperately trying to repair this as the units come crashing forward, taking him out. Supplies 150 to 110, and this base will fall. TaeJa has lost his third. Will he be able to bring it back? I don't believe so, as the Colossi raining down 20 kills on one and 20 on the other, a pair of 20 killers as they are crashing into the third base.
And this definitely looks like it's going to be a victory for First, potentially tying it up. But right now, TaeJa looking for an opportunity here to try to claw his way back, but we've got Zealots inside the main base through a Warp Prism as well. Vikings trying to take out that Warp Prism, but the production is certainly given a bit of a run here, while at the same time we see First now moving into the third base, and TaeJa's in a lot of trouble.
That Warp Prism absolutely served its purpose. It drew TaeJa back into his main base. He made a decision to defend that, and now First has full command over the third base of TaeJa. TaeJa needs to defend here, trying to dodge the storms, but actually running them right into the storm. Unfortunately, he seems to have lost his focus just a bit, trying to keep everything alive, but First will not be denied. He's crashing forward. Colossi are being sniped. TaeJa just holding on to the bitter end, but the reinforcements are just crashing forward wave after wave. TaeJa now landing his third base yet again, trying to get some SCVs over there. But the income damage has been done. Look at the supplies. They tell the tale, 160 to 93.
I mean, the supply alone is a very scary sight. And although I believe that First probably could have moved forward and just taken the game at this point, he decides to pull back, get the Archons, let another Colossus come in here because he wants absolute resolution. And there it is, GG.
Wow.
He knows the